I thought, why not? I'm off tomorrow, so I might as well make a post, an upload, a Spike Lee joint, School Days. Not days like days of the week, but like days like confused, I guess. I should have looked up the definition of that word, but I know it. I have a grasp of it. So it's starring Spike Lee. He spends the majority of the movie on both sides of the camera, behind it and in front of it. Um, Also, Miss Campbell of Martin, right? Everybody knows that. And I think she played My Wife and Kids. Is that the name of the show? My Wife and Kids with Damon Wayans. She also did that, so she's had a long career. I don't know if this was her first or her first time working, but she's had a long career after it. And also, you wouldn't believe it how small the world is. You've got Gustavo from what character he played on Breaking Bad was named Gustavo, but that particular actor, he's in this as well. Um, okay, so um, I'm watching the movie, and they started to sing, and I said, "Oh, a musical." But I wasn't as whimsical with my wasn't as whimsical as I was just now when they started to sing. A little upset. I don't like musicals. um, but that isn't the major. I won't put that in the con category for this particular film. Um, so I said to myself, you know, you might as well just give it a chance and keep watching it because for some reason, although it was a musical, you could see these actors and actresses who probably weren't classically trained as singers and dancers performing. And I'm like, you know what? It deserves a watch. And as the movie progressed, something about the performances, there was so much power behind them. You know what I mean? That's one of the things that kept me hooked to viewing this. Um, you have to excuse me, I'm all over the place. I'm a little tired, but I'm going to knock this video out. It's basically after kind of not being sure and having to reinsure my own assumptions. I found a small like 4 minute clip or something like that where Spike Lee explains what this movie's about, and my assumption was correct. It's it's basically uh, a look into his. It's basically a look into his experience in college. Now, man, there's so much tied into it. Now, you can call this a love story and a coming of age story, but it's not as lighthearted as that. It's definitely on the darker side without showing a lot of violence. And I have to say something before I forget. Probably one of the better sex scenes because I think that's the first time I've ever seen a scene where you see two actors going at it all hot and heavy, and you're switching back and forth between those two doing their thing and a person like actually singing, not doing like not just a song put in behind it, not just not just somebody like relying on a lot of equipment to alter their voice, but maybe there was some of that was at play. I'm assuming, but the contrast or yeah, the contrast of a person actually singing versus two actors going at it. Something I've never seen before. It was sublime. How about that? I'm using vocabulary. Now let me try and do an overview of this. So yeah, it basically follows a fictional character. Uh, well, multiple characters are involved in the story. So you've got Spike Lee's character, Lawrence Fishburne's in this as well. You got, I'm just gonna call him Gustavo, that actor. You got him as well. So Lawrence Fishburne and Gustavo are going at one another, You got, but you got Spike Lee's character who's aspiring to be in a is it fraternity? Yeah, fraternity. Fraternities for guys and sororities for women, right? So he's aspiring to be in a fraternity. Um, all the while they have, all the while there's this tone of education about oneself, and you also throw in a mix. If I haven't said it before, um, a youth's chance to transform themselves or figure out who they are, transform, figure out who they are into the adult that they're eventually going to grow into. You got that growing on. You got that going on as well. Um, and on top of that, you have this uh, internal struggle that's been going on in, I think, all races, but this one is taking a closer look at uh, what's happening in the American, well, not just American, but the Americans' experience, the American of African descent, their experience with skin tone. Now, it's of course it's deeper than that. It's also the way you choose to present yourself with how your hair is kept. If you choose to put in colored contacts, how you choose to talk, all that comes into play as well. I didn't think the movie was going to get that deep when they started to sing, but it caught me. And the end of it seems to be, it was just, I don't have no other words to describe it except powerful, because it was. You got some, you got the main character basically at the end of the movie screaming at the top of his lungs, "Wake up!" What what does he mean by that? And another thing I want to say about this film, this could definitely be considered as an art film, an art piece. It's very artsy. I mean, I got something in my eye. Give me a second. Trying to say something without actually spelling it out. They do a good job of that. Uh, the music, you know, I think this is the second movie in as many days that I've watched, and although there's a large amount of music used throughout the film, it's not overpowering. It seems like they're well placed and well used. All these pieces inside this movie. I mean, it adds so much to the movie that if any song was ever to be taken out in another version, I think it would diminish the film. Um, but yeah, it basically follows Spike Lee's character as he tries to join the fraternity, and you're also following Lawrence Fishburne's character as he's trying to bring awareness to what's going on in South Africa. Africa at the time, there was apartheid. Google that if you don't know what it is. I'm semi familiar with that as well. I guess this was a movie about being woke before that was a thing, I guess. But on the other side, you have somebody who's, they don't go into too much detail about that, about his character, but I feel like he's the other extreme, like a person who doesn't necessarily care about events that are happening across the world. They care about uh, themselves and where they come from, and where they want to be, which I think is a very interesting, uh, very interesting observation on two different ways of thought. On one side you got this person, or this kid who's, we're dealing with two seniors here. They're both basically, they're done with their experience here. I mean, there may be a little bit of fear built up, like I'm leaving something that I've just recently got a grasp on, for the past however many years I've been here, and now I have to go into the real world and deal with that. I'm starting all over again, basically. But I have tools, something that they probably don't understand at the time. I have the tools to succeed, or I should have the tools to succeed. And there's some fear and doubts. Maybe they don't have those tools, and There's another side where it's like, well, I know where I came from. I know where I want to go, and I'm going to get there. That's what I picked up on. I feel like there's more to it, of course. I definitely scratching the surface of it. It was it a good movie? Decent. It was a decent movie to watch. I've seen worse. I'm not saying it was my favorite. I'm not. It's not like I'm super picky or anything, but it's just it doesn't do it for me. Nor is the last movie I watched. So uh, that's that. But it was a good movie. Decent. I will have to watch it again just to get a better grasp of it. Hopefully, I explained it well enough. I don't think I did though. I think I just rambled for a little bit. But hey, it's worth a watch. I'll tell you that much. One thing I need to invest in: a lint roller.